Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau, Samantha Perry with you here. A little bit of an overcast day in Hollandale Beach, but I'll tell you what, if you're looking to come out to the racetrack, come on out because I think we finally, I'm going to knock on wood, we finally put the humidity behind us. It has been beautiful here in South Florida the last, 6 or 7 days?
It has,
and it looks like it's going to continue going forward, so huge weekend on tap as well.
Yep, very exciting races tomorrow. Of course, we have 3 stakes races, a very good card Sunday as well. We were just talking about it off air, very good card, and a good one today.
Yeah, tomorrow is the middle section of the Sire Stakes. Thank you, guys. You can see the Susan's Girl in the Affirmed, led by undefeated horses that will really get the acid test tomorrow. Ben Tornado in the Affirmed, and, of course, our Harper Rose in the Susan's Girl. Our old buddy Dean Delivers is back in the Gil Campbell, clashing with his rival Big and Classy. Is a lot of excitement, and oh, by the way, we'll have a Rainbow Mandatory 6 payout tomorrow as well, and if it does carry over today, that's estimated over $250,000. 75 in the gross jackpot guarantee today. We'll see. We can show that now too as well. That starts on an 8-race card. That'll kick off in race number 3, and we'll see. We got a lot going on here this weekend. Victor Barboza just walked by. He's got some live runners this weekend as well. Very exciting time, and of course it's the championship meet is right on the horizon as well, so a lot of fun, a lot to look forward to. Maybe we can pad the bankroll with horizontals galore today.
Maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. So let's take a look at my early pick 5 here in the opener. We're about 52 minutes to post. $36 play for me in race number 2. The top pick is the 1 down inside, Tick-Tockable. I'll show you a replay on that one. Race number 3, Rastani for me on top. The 2 in race number 4. Another 2, and that's Spanish Girl on the drop for Jorge Delgado. And in race number 5, we'll go with the 10 towards the outside, and that is Straight Time. I'm trying to get one of these. I'm going to jump on the Lifetime Maiden
why not?
bandwagon. They all seem to win. Maybe one can win for me. 0 for 22. That's a $36 play, and we'll kick it off in the opener. Not a lot of scratches or changes on the card, but in the opener, the 6 Empire Girl is out. I didn't really have her anywhere as well. We've just got the exacta reverse. 5.5 on the fast main track. These are 12-5 maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, and you can go with Toodaloo Y'all, who we've got a stat as well. Y'all, you probably like that, right?
I do, yeah. Toodaloo Y'all. Getting a solid jockey switch here. Now, this is a very interesting stat found yesterday on Kathleen O'Connell. This is 50% maiden claiming tag drop just here at Gulfstream Park in the last 5 years. 27% win percentage. That's just so strong. It's a solid ROI as well. I love the post for this horse. We haven't seen her in quite some time. That doesn't bother me too much with this 5.5 furlongs. Hector Diaz Jr. I was surprised to see he's only at 11% right now, because I feel like I've seen him hit the winner's circle more or be in the money more than that, but just watch for this filly because he puts these horses in the race early.
Yeah, you know what, Sammy Camacho here winning a lot of races. The jockey colony right now is so deep, so strong and competitive. I feel like the top 5 or 6, you could just kind of flip a coin. Certainly Edgar Zayas is setting a very prolific pace, but the depth now from top to bottom in the colony is really, it's, I think, as deep as we've seen it in quite some time, especially over the summer. I went with the 5, Burn the Breeze here. I like getting back to the main track. I thought the run 2 back was fine. Huge jock move here. Lionel's going to get aboard.
Yep, this is a very strong move here, and this is, I feel like this filly's the likeliest winner in this spot. I just thought the 3 maybe had a little more upside.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And would you also agree that the gap to Ghost Force is a pretty big one?
It is, and they're always going to bet this horse just because it's Jose D'Angelo. But, wow, I just don't know what's happened the last couple of races. He's had his she's, pardon me, had her shots, and she hasn't really connected yet.
Yeah, I have no problem just stopping at 3-5, 5-3 in the opener and moving on. If we don't if we don't get through that leg, so be it. But anybody else to me seems a real reach. Early pick 4 in race number 2. 1 turn mile on the fast main track. We like that 3-year-olds and up, which I've never won to. The tag 12-5 down to 10. And as we like to say on these 8 race cards, horizontals all the way through. And Samantha's got an early pick 4.
Yes, I do. We'll go ahead and take a look at the ticket.
Ooh.
At 22.50, I'm singling in this spot here. This is my best bet of the day. Race 3, the 6 on top for me. That's Starship Aurora. A lot of speed, and I think this horse has a nice closing kick. Race 4, I lost my top pick in this spot, but already I was spreading because I don't have the strongest opinion in this maiden $35,000 event. But the 5, Sonadora Girls, who I scratched into here on the class drop. Race 5 to end the late early pick 5 and early pick 4. The 8 on top for me. That is Copanello Bay. It's my long shot play of the day. So best bet in long shot in the first half of the card. That's always exciting. Rip the Band-Aid off early.
I like it. Well, talk about Stormy Victory. You got him singled. It's Rohan. We're starting to see Rohan back in the entries here. That's a positive. Rohan Crichton, if you're not really familiar with him, a very, very high percentage trainer.
Yes, and he's bringing these horses back from Del Mar, and admittedly, I'm really riding the Rohan train this weekend because a lot of these horses now you're more familiar with from Southern California and now coming back here. This type of class he was running against is nowhere near what he faces here today for the 12-5 level. And I like the switch back to the dirt. I get it. There's only one win, and it was on the grass here. But I just feel like this is just a nice, solid type of colt that the dirt, it's not like he's run poorly on it, but they just have opted to be on the grass instead. I love the cut back to one turn as well.
And Rohan's done very well with the 5-pound apprentice, Angel Morales, who we think is very, very talented in here. Tick-tockable. Let's show the replay, guys. I've been waiting for this horse to come back. I've been waiting for him to stretch out a little bit. I've been waiting for him to get some dry land. We have no idea what he can do on dry land. He's run 4 times, all of them on sloppy, wet, muddy racetracks. You're going to see it here, and he's moving. You know, I don't know if he's going to win, okay, but he's moving, and then it's just not going to really work out here. And he's going to check out of it pretty badly coming up right here. And you know, you've heard Samantha and I talk about this all the time, and that these kinds of horses, they don't have the graded stakes horses kinds of gears to have that happen and then come again. I'll just take my chances with him with some clear sailing, and he's going to be a decent little price in here as well.
Yeah, and the tag he won for was 12.5. So the fact that he ran that well for 20, I think, is a good testament to his ability. Yeah,
without a doubt, and certainly rod to rod. I had him last time. Did you use him too? I think we both picked him one day when he was scratched. Maybe.
Yeah, we did. And it's funny because when we were looking at replays for this upcoming race card this weekend, I was watching the XY Point and the Desert Ruler. This horse, of course, I had already made my picks by then, but this horse galloped out incredible going the 6.5 furlong, the Loco Barrio race. He just flew past the whole field. So this extra distance should be very, very solid for him.
XY Point is in tomorrow. Yeah, he's in a really salty race tomorrow. The card tomorrow is tremendous. Sunday as well, as she mentioned. Local Barrio and XY Point would be 1 to 100 in this race. So this is a monster class drop here. So rod to rod, if you're playing horizontals, if you're playing her early pick 4, my early pick 5, you have to use this horse. I could see people getting aggressive with this horse as well. So 2 down, 6 to go. When we come back, it's Rainbow 6 time. $75,000 in your gross jackpot guarantee. And of course, don't forget now, tomorrow, a mandatory day as well. Stay tuned.
And they're off.
My racehorse has opened up a door for people that felt like that door would have never been opened for them.
We can all be owners and we can all get that excitement.
You can meet your horse through the different experiences and all of the events that My Racehorse puts together. You get that hands-on connection.
Whether you have $50 or $500, everyone that joins My Racehorse gets that experience of a lifetime.
I love My Racehorse. Let's go.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. Another beautiful day here in sunny South Florida, Hollandale Beach. I can say that because the sun has come out here.
It has.
Hope to see you out here. Huge day. If you're not coming today, you better come tomorrow. Sire Stakes Saturday, the second, the middle leg. A lot of excitement. Undefeated 2-year-olds in the spotlight, and Rainbow Six in the spotlight today and tomorrow. Mandatory tomorrow, but $75,000 in the gross jackpot guarantee today. Here's my ticket here, $48. I made it all the way to the end before I had a top pick scratch out. We'll get race number 6. You can see the single, and that is my best bet of the day. Fast Fixer. I'm spreading deep in race 7 with my long shot Top Maverick in there. And then in race number 8, I scratch into the 5, Starship Agenda, and I added a horse as well. I added To Thyself Be True. She's been keeping busy in the afternoons, and she's got some talent as well. $48 ticket. Let's start it off here, Samantha, in race number 3. This is a good optional claimer. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. 6 furlongs on a fast main track here. How about that? 3 straight main track races to kick off the card. We like that. And let's see, where are you going? Starship Aurora?
I am.
Okay. We got the replay as well.
Yeah, we do. Let's show this. This was back in mid-August last year, or this year, pardon me. Whoa. And this was a very, very strong race. To Thyself Be True has been in really good form lately. And Flag Woman, wow. 3 wins in a row here.
Yep.
Now Starship Aurora is out the back, and this is a lot of work to do on the dirt track in these types of races. She's a solid filly, but she's not a filly that can come from the back like this. Now Flag Woman is to her inside. They exchange some bumps here. Starship Aurora puts pressure on Flag Woman. Now, Flag Woman, I think, is just a more talented filly, but Starship Aurora did not give it up easy at all. I loved this effort here. There's nobody like this horse in the race, and she ran exceptionally well.
She did. I almost think she ticked off Flag Woman to victory there. She
probably did, yeah.
What are you doing
She
here?
got the gameness in her.
Yeah, you could see Flag Woman kind of get a little irritated there, and that's when she took off. Big threat in here, and you have to use her. I worry about her running style, as you said, and she's cutting back today.
Which could be a problem.
Yeah, she has no real early speed, so we'll see what we get today, but she's a huge threat. And the reason I picked Rastani, the 2, is because you look at the horses. I feel like the horses to beat in here, Starship Aurora and race day speed as well. Well, Rastani is going to get first run. Is she as good as them? She's probably not, but maybe the flow of the race helps her a little bit.
Yeah, and you look atomically, we're going to see back on Sunday in a really solid race, and that's atomically ran in the Breeders' Cup last year. Now, she wasn't that good, and she hasn't been good, but this race that she's coming out of, that was a strong race. Yeah, a lot of upside with Rastani as well. She's out of here, ran well behind who was at the time streaking Poema. Yes. Yeah, and Poema, although not so great in the stake race the other weekend, still a horse that just takes the lead, and she's out of here just chasing.
Yeah. No race day speed for you?
No. Yeah, I've got the 7 and 3rd.
Oh, the 8.
Oh.
Race day speed?
Oh, you're right. No.
I mean, she's a dropper. She's Edgard. Tossed the Tapeta route last time. I thought she was arguably maybe one of the horses to beat in here, but she doesn't have any speed either.
No.
That's what worries me.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Wide open race. We don't even have them. Well, I have the morning line favorite American, of course, who I think has to prove it to me. But this is a tricky race to kick off your Rainbow Six. I don't think there's any doubt about that. It's not easy to kick off the late pick 5 as well either. We'll go $170 on the Tapeta routing here. These are the 2-year-old maiden special weights. The fillies in the spotlight here. We do scratch the 4 Wind Rush. Samantha's on the ticket. I'll be interested to see where you're going here because this is
spreading.
Yeah, this could be a little bit of a tricky race.
Yeah, this is hard, and you know we can cut it down after looking at these horses, but going in blindly and just seeing what we've seen on the track. But there are some firsters I'm interested in. Race number 5, I have the 8 on top. Race number 6, I've got the 4. I scratch into the 4, actually. My top pick scratched out of this, Warlord Cruzon. Race 7, I'm just single to end my double. I really do like Austonian today coming from Del Mar, and in race 8, This is a tough one. I needed to take a stand. I think Tamarindo just looks way too good for these fillies.
Yeah, I was just a little worried if she's better on turf, but I'm not going to fight you too hard on that. I did lose my top pick as well. So there's a 22.50 for you. And again, hopefully we can give you some good opinions today because it's a huge day tomorrow. Let's get into this race. It's tricky. As I mentioned, we scratched the 4 Windrush. I think there's no doubt, and she's favored on the line that the 2 Spanish Girl is the one to beat. I kind of auto-defaulted into her. I want you to talk about Sonadora Girl, though, Victor Barboza.
Yeah, blinkers go on. They debuted this horse for 50, so it's not like they were really thinking she was much of a world beater here. I like that. She's going to get the 2 turns here, and she's going to try the Tapeta for the first time. These Offspring, the Masteries, they're so big, and I kind of don't like that too much, but she's one that's a little bit better looking than what I've seen, and she ran okay on debut. I like that they've worked her on the Tapeta, so she's familiar with the surface, and Edwin Gonzalez stays. But again, Victor Barboza has 2, and I'm using both of them in the ticket.
And Victor is just not a guy who's going to pop at first asking. The right kind of horse is going to win for him, but I think he's about 7%. He ups it to 25% second out. So you could it just kind of sees it right there. I think this probably was the plan all along. We get a little tightener. We sprint on debut. Now we're going long here for the money. You know, Spanish Girl to me is supposed to be really tough in here. She sprinted on debut. She's a maiden special weight dropper for a high percentage Jorge Delgado barn. And I kind of feel like she's the right one in here. And you've got a stat too, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. This was a huge stat. So maiden special weight to maiden claiming the last 5 years here at Gulfstream, 38%. This is insane. And this filly was not bet at all on debut. I don't think it was the strongest race either, but as far as this group goes, this is pretty impressive.
Very odd to see a Jorge Delgado horse at 22-1 on debut. Yeah. You know what, the other thing that worried me a little bit here is that they paid $27,000 for a City of Light, who neither of us really like that much, but they've been selling like crazy.
They have. So. I think this was the year, though, they started catching on that maybe they're not after that astronomical prices at the yearling sales. Yeah.
Don't sleep on the 6. Mary Leitner does good work.
She does.
And when she puts Edgard on, she does even better work.
Oh, you love that angle. Yeah, they do great together. Farm works for me. She's coming from the farm in Ocala. Mary Leitner, they can get these horses ready, but still, I like to see them have a race. Yeah. Or not a race, pardon me, just a work on the main track. That helps.
Coming in very blind, but Samantha will give you a look at them when they get behind us. Here in race number 5, we will go to late pick 4 time. Just a run back of my rainbow. I'll show it out there on Twitter. We're 5.5 on the Tapeta here. 12-5 maiden claimers in this spot. And the 12 Travel Guide, a big long shot Travel Guide, is out. So I don't really think there's anything going on there. We are all over. Wow, we are all over the place in here.
This is a tough race.
Oh, this is your long shot.
It is.
Copanello Bay.
Yeah, Copanello Bay. Yeah, trying the Tapeta for the first time. I love the offspring of Bucheros on the Tapeta. They run on everything. And we had a conversation with Joe Orsino yesterday about those. And I love Julie Davies. I try to stay familiar with the sales world as much as I can. And Julie Davies always will bring prep horses for the sale that I like quite a bit. They're just not over the top, and they have room to grow into themselves, which I like. She owns this horse as well. He's gelded. The first 2 outs, they were nothing to write home about, but I think that this could be a horse that could kind of sneak under the radar, and this is not a race where you should be afraid of anybody.
No world beaters in here. No. Georgina Baxter's going to take over. Looks like she's had this horse for a little bit, so I can pick up what you're putting down here. You know, this horse took a little bit of money, 14-1 in both starts in 10-horse fields over at Tampa, so it's not like the horse was totally ignored either. It's the right kind of race where you're allowed to get a little out of the box. Hey, I went with an 0 for 22 maiden in here. Straight Time and Sergeant Sinatra went at it last time, and we can take a look at it here. Sergeant Sinatra beat Straight Time. And they're just kind of running together here a little bit. You know, not especially a lot going on, but I think we can at least both agree that these are the 2 kind of, we'll call them the house horses here, right?
Yeah, they are. And Straight Time really just sat the pocket. And you see Sergeant Sinatra was kind of having to be worked on quite a bit. Now, Lost City was the Victor Barboza runner. I think we're going to see that horse back this weekend
Yeah,
as
we
well. But when Straight Time kind of angled out, and this is a tight spot here. It doesn't look it as much, but where are you going with this horse? There's not. The winner is running away, and you're put on the rail. There's nowhere to really go. So this is a good post with the 10 for this horse.
Took me the entire replay to remember why I picked Straight Time.
Well, there you go. That was it.
We did this Tuesday, so I mean,
yeah, it's okay.
that was his first time cutting back in quite some time.
And that's a big wake-up call.
It's a huge wake-up call. We talk about it all the time. You cut back because we go from a mile and a 16th. If you're going to cut back on Tapeta, you're going all the way back from 8.5 to 5.5. It's a swift punch in the face, and you can just get run off your feet.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to get acclimated to it. He's got that under him now. Jose D'Angelo comes right back at the sprint in here. We're well drawn to the outside of Sergeant Sinatra. So I think he can turn the tables. But listen, we got a 0 for 22 maiden as well. But we tongue-in-cheek joke, but they have won a lot here.
They do. Yeah. Big time.
Carolina Traffic is going to be a price too, right?
Yeah.
Danny Hurtag.
Yeah, this is a barn. Woo, watch out. They've been firing. They had a couple winners last week that were solid. Going to the Tapeta for the first time, he could do it. He's got a couple works, or at least most recently, that work on the Tapeta, and has Marco Meneses, who he brings in those long shots.
I missed it. I was bopping up there in
Maryland. Yeah, you're getting cold up there.
Missed the Danny and Donna double, but good stuff there. One of them totally blew up the board, right?
Ooh,
$90 or
yeah,
something?
it was huge.
Wowzers.
Howard, yeah.
Yeah, there we go, and a good race, too. All right, 5 furlongs in race 6 on the Tapeta. These are 2 L's, $8,000 claimers for me. We've got the exacta reverse Warlord Cruise On for you.
I scratch into this horse, so not a ton of conviction here. I like the fact that this horse is just going to stay in this level. He's not much, but I think as far as this field goes as a whole, it's a little bit of a drop here from the 12 to the 8.
It is, yeah.
So, and lightly raced.
Yeah, and he's got my horse is the best bet of the day for me, Fast Fixture. And your horse has an edge in that he's run against winners. And it can be, you laugh at maiden claimers, you come up and step up against winners. It can be a little bit of a rude awakening. I just didn't think there was anything in here. And I'll tell you what, if Fast Fixer runs anywhere close to that win,
yeah, he's the clear winner.
Beat him. Yeah, so maybe some low-hanging fruit, but I think he's a good, if you need an anchor, maybe you need a single, he could be it if you're a little bit on a budget.
Yeah.
Partner Tours, I mean, in the mix, the 2 Akamar in the mix as well, but I kind of feel like we've got the right 2 in here.
Yep, I hope so.
Hope so. All right, late double time in race number 7. We're back on a fast main track. We're going 7 in here. It's a maiden optional claimer for 3-year-olds and up. It's a clean race. We'll start it with you. Is this Austonian your best bet?
No,
okay, you like him a lot,
I
though.
do, yeah.
Yep.
I've got him singled. I needed some leverage because I'm spreading so much in that maiden race earlier on to kick off the late pick 5. Well, let's show the replay. This horse, he broke from the 11 or the 12 post here, and he was bet, which is a good thing to see. And this was under different connections in Brian Corner at Del Mar, and now was claimed by Sandino Hernandez. This horse ran really well. Heartbreak Kid, the winner, was just too good at a little bit of a price here. But when you're running 6.5 furlongs and you're breaking from this far outside post, that's very, very hard to do. And it was a game effort nonetheless. And this is a horse that he was running an open company in California, and those weren't state breds he was just racing against, and that's a big difference.
No, there's no doubt about it, and he bumps them, he doubles them in price. That's a very positive move. The stats, I've said this time and time again now, Sandino Hernandez, your form's going to tell you he's 0 for 6 off the claim. Dig a little deeper than that.
Better,
Very, very sharp barn. My long shot's in here, and we kind of joke it could be an average shot. I feel like Top Maverick is going to be higher than 5 to 1. They're going to bet Classify. They're going to bet Austonian. 5 to 1 is fine with me, though, because I think there's angles here. Mike Lerman, we like the job Mike does. First time gelding, the spacing's totally fine here. And I know Jaramillo's the stats are bolstered a little bit because he's ridden the big stakes horse for Mike, but he reaches out to a guy that he's had a lot of success for.
He does. I think the gelding of this horse is a huge asset. I always joke that Mike Lerman's horses don't miss a meal because they're always in just very good condition and good. You want to see a horse like that. This was a heavy horse, and I would say that to Mike as well. This was a really heavy horse. A horse like this, what do you need to have him intact for? So this could really, really move him up.
Yeah, and I think I like the layoff. The races he's coming out of are solid groups. And listen, Estonian classified the 7. We haven't talked about him yet. He's probably going to go favored for Safi. I mean, he was 11-10 on debut.
It's hard to take him.
I did not like his debut at all.
Yeah, I didn't either, and I don't even think we might have took him that day, but I don't think it was. I mean, he can win, and we won't be surprised. But I think you can go against him here.
He was 2-path pressing the winner into the far turn, and
couldn't get
that's
it done,
the trip you want. And at 11-10. Couldn't get it done. He seems a little bit of a fade horse to me and, well, my partner as well today. All right, let's wrap it up in race number 8. We are on the Tapeta here, going 1.70 miles. It's an optional claimer for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. This is where I lost my top pick, Coco Rising. We had a heck of a conversation with Joe Orsino yesterday. He's got Mattingly tomorrow in the Affirmed, and we did some good. Joe kind of opened up and really gave us some good insight on his career. And we'll show you that a little bit later on. But regardless, Coco Icing is out. So you have, you said Tamarindo is just better than these. I could see it. I'm not going to fight you on that.
Yeah, she is. And a lot of these horses, specifically the one right to her outside, Demogorgon, is coming back in 6 days.
Yeah.
And we've kind of seen all of the cards from these horses. Safi Joseph took this horse to Kentucky Downs. She ran really well there, very, very well against a tough group. She's back to the Tapeta. I don't even want to say back to 2 turns. I don't even know how many turns she faced at Kentucky Downs.
I'm going to say that's like a turn and a quarter,
plus a
turn and a half, and that's a mile, going about 1.25 miles.
Yeah, so she's fit. What I'm trying to say is coming into this race, and she's got Tapeta form. She won very nicely in the Ginger Punch, and obviously she was way over bet in that last race on the Tapeta here, and she couldn't see it through, but like I like to say, it's hard to win back-to-back on the Tapeta. Yeah,
and the other thing, too, is we see a lot of these horses that go up to Kentucky Downs. Maybe some of them get beaten up a little bit. I don't even think that's the point when you're handicapping. To me, the point is Safi, who's obviously as sharp as there is, thought enough of a horse like this to bring her up there. You know you're going to face some toughies up there. So I think that in and of itself is a big deal. She's the horse to beat in here. I don't think there's any doubt. Again, I scratch into now Starship Agenda. I like her Tapeta races. I kind of feel like Tamarindo might be a little better on the turf. She might still be too classy, but she's in the mix here, Starship Agenda.
Yeah, it's hard to really knock her. And Demogorgon 6 days ago put in a really strong effort from really an impossible post. So she's a big filly. She needs a lot of room. The inside rail draw is not where you want to be, and Starship Agenda just was very close to defeating her.
Yeah, and she's got the better spacing. Demogorgon right back. I have no problem with Demogorgon coming right back. To me, it's a confident move.
It is.
Fernando Abreu is going to run horses where they belong. I thought there was enough speed in here, too, maybe to tilt it a little bit towards the stalkers and closers. All right, 8 of them for you, but like we've hinted at, big weekend here. We'll get the lightning round going now before we get into that big weekend, though, as we always do on Fridays. And started out with the standings here, and we'll take a look at that. Jack's up first, I believe.
Yeah.
There we go.
Very strong jockey colony, like you mentioned. But Edgar Zayas, wow, he's really separating himself. Yeah,
it's twofold. Edgard's not bouncing around a little bit like he did throughout the summer, and he's healthy. And when Edgard's healthy, he's as good as there is, period.
Yeah, he is.
No disputing that. And you're seeing that in the standings, up 10. That's a big number. Trainer standings a lot closer, all right?
Yeah, they are, and it's going to be a solid race because these Carlos David just came back guns blazing. Jose D'Angelo and Safi Joseph and Victor as well. They are loaded this weekend with runners.
How about Kathleen? Good to see her up there on the leaderboard as well. Oh, Victor's got 16. I did not realize that. So we got a 3-way battle right now. It'll be interesting to see how it unfolds. But as Samantha, we'll go to the best bet and long shot first. We're going to tease the big weekend here. Your best bet today?
It's coming in the second race today. Stormy Victory. Low-hanging fruit, but we'll take it.
I might not be far behind in the race number 6, the 6 Fast Fixer, 2-1 on the morning line. Long shot for you?
Race 5, the 8-horse Copanello Bay. Real long shot.
Yeah, that's a real long shot. Me, I think I might get there, but maybe not. Top Mavericks, 5-1 on the line. I'll take that too. That's fine. So that's in race 7. But here we go. Tomorrow, mandatory day in the Rainbow Six, regardless of what happens today. I gotta believe if we get to tomorrow, it's going to be a heck of a lot more than 250. I would think.
Yeah, we always err on the side of caution, but it's going to get bigger than that, and hope for good weather. We have some really strong dirt races, and again, the stakes races tomorrow are incredible.
Yeah, we've got 3 stakes tomorrow, and of course they're both highlighted by the Affirmed and the Susan's Girl. Those are the middle legs of the Florida Sire Series. We'll talk about them all day. We'll talk about them all day tomorrow. I'll tell you what, though, the Gil Campbell Memorial for the older horses or the veterans, 3 and up. What a race. We got Dean Delivers coming back, big and classy. Bobby D says he wants to get him at a mile. Fun race.
It is a very, very fun race. Excited to see who you picked for that.
Yeah, I like Dean Delivers.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be tough.
Yep, he will be.
He's going to be
It's
tough.
just such a good day of racing, and of course, mandatory. It's a good day to get involved. Today's even better day to get involved.
Well, we've seen it happen before, where the day before this thing gets swept, so it's out there. We got prices. My partner's got a huge long shot, so food for thought. But that's it for us. We're back here for the opener shortly. Pete is upstairs. Not a lot to do on a pretty clean Friday, and we hope to see you out here at Gulfstream Park.